Welcome back to Nation of Glory, the ultimate destination for stories that inspire, uplift, and celebrate the legends who shine brighter than the stars in Hollywood and beyond. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now because we're all about those epic tales of triumph, heart, and glory that keep you coming back for more. Today, we've got something truly special, a deep dive into the life of a woman who's not just a wrestler, but a warrior, a queen, and a force of nature in the world of entertainment. We're talking about Ashley Elizabeth Fliehr, better known to the world as Charlotte Flair. This isn't just a biography, it's a story of legacy, resilience, heartbreak, and unbreakable spirit. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's journey through the incredible world of the Queen herself. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll feel like you've walked in her boots and cheered from the front row. Picture this. It's a warm summer day in Charlotte, North Carolina, back in the early 1980s. The air is buzzing with the energy of a city that's all about hustle and heart. In a modest home, a little girl named Ashley is born on April 5, 1986. But this isn't just any family. Her father, none other than the nature boy himself, Ric Flair, the man who's synonymous with professional wrestling, with his iconic, Wooo, echoing through arenas worldwide. Growing up as the daughter of a legend like Ric wasn't all glamour and gold. Sure, there were moments of excitement, like sneaking peeks at her dad's larger-than-life matches on TV, watching him strut down the aisle in his feather boas and robes, captivating crowds with his charisma. But behind the scenes, it was a roller coaster. Ric's career meant constant travel, late nights, and the kind of fame that pulls families apart. Ashley's parents divorced when she was young, and she found herself navigating a world where her dad's shadow loomed large. Can you imagine being a kid and hearing whispers everywhere you go? That's Ric Flair's daughter. It could have been a burden, but for Ashley, it planted a seed, a dream to carve her own path, to honor the family name while becoming her own icon. As a teenager, Ashley was all about sports and pushing her limits. She dove into volleyball, track and field, and gymnastics, earning scholarships and accolades that made her stand out. She was a natural athlete, tall and strong, with that fiery determination in her eyes. But life threw her some curveballs early on. In high school, she faced the typical teen struggles, fitting in, dealing with expectations, but amplified by her famous last name. People expected her to be tough, to be a star, and she internalized that pressure. Yet, she channeled it into excellence. She went on to Appalachian State University, where she majored in public relations and continued her athletic pursuits. It was there that she started to realize her body was built for something more, something explosive. But wrestling, that wasn't on her radar yet. No, Ashley had her sights set on a normal life, away from the ring's bright lights. She got certified as a personal trainer, envisioning a career helping others get fit and strong. Little did she know, destiny had other plans. Fast forward to 2008. Tragedy struck the Flair family hard. Ashley's younger brother, Reid, who was just starting to dip his toes into wrestling like their dad, passed away suddenly from a drug overdose at the age of 25. It shattered everyone. Ric Flair, the unbreakable nature boy, was brought to his knees. For Ashley, it was a wake-up call, a heartbreaking pivot point. She saw how the wrestling world had both elevated and tormented her family. In the midst of grief, she decided to step into the ring, not to escape the pain, but to honor Reid's memory. And keep the Flair legacy alive. It was emotional, raw, and real. Imagine losing someone so close, and then choosing to enter the very arena that contributed to the family's struggles. That's the kind of courage that makes legends. Ashley signed with WWE in 2012, at the age of 26, and began training at their developmental territory, NXT. She wasn't handed anything. She earned it through sweat, tears, and relentless drive. Her debut in NXT was electric. Adopting the ring name Charlotte, a nod to her hometown and her roots, she quickly showed the world she was no nepotism hire. With her athletic background, she adapted fast, blending technical prowess with that flair for drama. Her first major storyline pitted her against the best, and she rose like a phoenix. In 2014, she captured the NXT Women's Championship, defeating Natalya in a match that had fans on their feet. It wasn't just about the win, it was about proving she belonged. Ric was there ringside, tears in his eyes, as his daughter claimed her first title. That moment, pure emotion, it bonded father and daughter in a way nothing else could. From there, Charlotte's star skyrocketed. She made her main roster debut in 2015 as part of the Women's Revolution, a movement that changed WWE forever. Alongside trailblazers like Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Bayley, she helped elevate women's wrestling from sideshow to main event status. But let's talk about the heart behind the hype. Charlotte Flair isn't just a wrestler, she's a storyteller in the ring. Her matches are like Hollywood blockbusters, full of twists, high stakes, and emotional payoffs. Take her rivalry with Sasha Banks. Those two put on clinics, trading the Raw Women's Championship back and forth in brutal, breathtaking encounters. One night, they're hell in a cell, slamming each other into steel, blood and sweat flying. The next, it's an Iron Woman match that goes the distance. Fans weren't just watching, they were feeling every suplex, every submission. Charlotte's signature move, the figure 8 leg lock, a amped up version of her dad's figure 4, became a symbol of her dominance. And her entrance, strutting down the ramp in robes fit for royalty, pyro exploding, the crowd chanting, "Woo." It's theatrical, it's grand, it's everything wrestling should be. Off the ring, Ashley's life has been a tapestry of highs and lows that make her so relatable. In 2017, she released her autobiography, Second Nature, The Legacy of Ric Flair and the Rise of Charlotte, co-written with her dad. It's not just a wrestling book, it's a family confessional. She opens up about the divorce, Reid's death, her own battles with self-doubt. Reading it, or in our case, hearing about it, you can't help but feel connected. Here's a woman who's faced body image issues in an industry that scrutinizes every inch. She's undergone surgeries, dealt with injuries that sidelined her for months, like a torn rotator cuff in 2018 that tested her resolve. But each time, she comes back stronger, more fierce. And let's not forget her personal life. She's been married 3 times, first to Ricky Johnson, then to wrestler Thomas Latimer, and now to Andrade El Idolo, a fellow WWE star. Each relationship taught her about love, loss, and growth. With Andrade, it's a beautiful cross-cultural romance, blending her American roots with his Mexican heritage. They support each other in and out of the ring, proving that even queens need their kings. Now, shifting to her achievements, oh boy, where do we start? Charlotte Flair is a 14-time women's world champion, holding titles across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. She's main evented WrestleMania, the Super Bowl of wrestling, multiple times. Remember WrestleMania 32 in 2016? She, Sasha, and Becky tore the house down in a triple threat for the inaugural WWE Women's Championship. It was a statement. Women can headline, women can steal the show. Then there's her Grand Slam status. She's won every major women's title in WWE. But it's not just about the gold, it's about the impact. Charlotte has inspired a generation of young girls to lace up boots and chase dreams. She's appeared in movies like Psych, the movie, and TV shows, crossing over into Hollywood territory. Her style, her confidence, it's influenced fashion, fitness, and pop culture. Brands line up for endorsements because she embodies empowerment. Let's get personal for a moment. What makes Charlotte's story so emotionally attaching is her vulnerability. In interviews, she talks about the pressure of being Ric's daughter. "I didn't want to be just Ric Flair's kid," she says. "I wanted to be Charlotte Flair. And she did it. Through therapy, self-reflection, and sheer will, she's turned potential pitfalls into power." Her relationship with her dad has evolved too. Once strained by his absences, it's now a partnership of mutual respect. They share the spotlight, like at her Hall of Fame inductions or when Ric makes surprise appearances. It's heartwarming to see a father beam with pride as his daughter surpasses him in ways he never imagined. And Reid, his memory lives on. Charlotte often dedicates matches to him, wearing gear with subtle tributes. It's that emotional core that keeps fans hooked, knowing that behind the queen persona is a real woman with real scars. As we cruise through her career highlights, let's spotlight some unforgettable moments. In 2019, she faced Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 35 in a winner-takes-all match. The build-up was intense, feuds, betrayals, real-life drama spilling over. Charlotte lost, but her performance was flawless, proving she's the measuring stick for excellence. Then, in 2020, amid a global pandemic, she adapted like a champ, performing in empty arenas but still delivering magic. Her return from injury in 2021 was triumphant, capturing the SmackDown Women's Championship yet again. And who can forget her epic clash with Asuka? Breaking the Empress's undefeated streak at WrestleMania 34 was controversial, but it solidified Charlotte as the top dog. Beyond wrestling, Ashley's philanthropy adds another layer to her glory. She's involved with Make-A-Wish, granting wishes to kids battling illnesses, drawing from her own family's hardships. She's an advocate for mental health, sharing her stories to destigmatize seeking help. In a world where celebrities often hide their struggles, Charlotte lays it bare, saying, "It's okay to not be okay." That authenticity, it's what draws people in, makes them root for her even when she's playing the heel, the villain, in storylines. Her heel turns are masterful, trash-talking with that Flair swagger, but fans know it's all part of the show. Deep down, she's the hero we all aspire to be. Now, let's talk about her influence on the women's division. Before Charlotte, women's matches were often short fillers. Now, they're headliners. She's paved the way for stars like Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan. Her training regimen is legendary, hours in the gym, perfecting moonsaults and chops that echo her dad's. She's even innovated moves, like the natural selection, a flipping neckbreaker that's as beautiful as it is brutal. And her promos. Cutting, confident, laced with emotion. She can make you boo her 1 minute and admire her the next. As we near the present, Charlotte's on SmackDown, continuing to dominate. In 2023, she had a stellar run, feuding with Io Sky and Bayley, showcasing her versatility. Injuries sidelined her again in late 2023, a torn ACL, meniscus, and MCL, but true to form, she's rehabbing. With grit, promising a comeback that'll shake the foundations. Fans are buzzing about potential dream matches, like against Jade Cargill or a rematch with Rousey. And Hollywood. Whispers of her in films or series aren't far-fetched. With her looks, charisma, and story, she's prime for the big screen. Imagine a biopic on the Flair family, she'd be the star. But what truly makes Charlotte Flair's story one for the ages is the emotional thread weaving through it all. From a girl overshadowed by legacy to a queen reigning supreme, hers is a tale of redemption. It's about family bonds tested and strengthened, about turning pain into purpose. Every time she steps in the ring, it's not just for wins, it's for Reid, for Ric, for every fan who's ever felt knocked down. Her, Wooo, isn't just a catchphrase, it's a battle cry for resilience. In an industry full of larger-than-life characters, Charlotte stands out because she's real, flaws, fears, and all. She's shown us that glory isn't given, it's grabbed with both hands. As we wrap up this epic journey through the life of Charlotte Flair, remember, stories like hers remind us that no matter your background, you can rise, conquer, and inspire. She's not just wrestling royalty, she's a beacon of hope in a world that needs more queens. Thank you so much for joining me on Nation of Glory today. If this story moved you, hit that like button to show some love, subscribe for more uplifting tales of triumph, and share this with your friends who need a dose of inspiration. Drop a comment below. What's your favorite Charlotte Flair moment? Until next time, keep chasing your glory. Woo.